Thanks for being here, everybody. I'm Larry Jose. I have not been doing this very long. With Tony, we think it's about 7 years. Coached for a lot of years before that, similar, and got out of that and just I needed something to jump into, and I went into this just with full head of steam. But still learning every year. But I'm a teacher here at Chip Hills along with Steve. Um, and I teach a class now. We have our high school students learning this information, which is really cool. I don't know. I think we had about 24 of them go through last year. Another, I think 20 signed up to do it this year in the fall, which definitely we're going to get a percentage out of them that want to keep doing it, at least in college. A lot of them are going on to college or working in the community, at least before they have families. And we know how that goes when have other responsibilities. Hopefully we can get them cruising and doing this thing that we love to do. Why did this come about? I'm supposed to do this because we're putting a recording out for the people who couldn't get here. Well, does everybody have, or did everybody get? Well, I know Cooper doesn't because he's brand new. The new mechanics manual last year. I think it was last year. Was it? Yeah, this past season was the first year of this, which for those of you who have been doing this a long time, there were a lot of mechanics changes, a ton of mechanics changes last year. Basically, they aligned NFHS, or the state of Michigan, tried to align it much closer to NCAA mechanics. Both in with 5-man, we all know you can't do that exactly because you're just missing 2 guys. But they did the best job they could to make it a little bit easier for people to go back and forth, in the mechanics at least, to be very similar. So I don't know if they're issuing nice, cool books like this every year. We got one last year with our rule book. I don't know whether it's good for 2 years, so the mechanics are going to stay the same this year. But this is kind of what, so the plan here is we have this many trainings set up, and this is both for new people and for guys that have been doing it for 40 plus years, as either a refresher or a new learning experience. And I'm treating it as both. So it doesn't matter if we've been doing this forever, everybody needs that refresher, and everybody needs that, oh yeah, that's true. That's where, or maybe it's a new guy on your crew that you just got 2 weeks before the season, and you're trying to bring him along from a line judge standpoint, and you're the R, helping him come along a little bit. Hey, this is a great refresher for, at least today, mechanics of the kicking game. And we're starting with that because the game starts. Oops, sorry about that, guys. I walked right in front of that. Because the game starts with the kicking game. And as we all know, it's where all of the shit happens in the game of football. It's usually with the kicking game. So we thought that was a good place to start. These first 3 are basic mechanics. All right, so tonight is kicking game. Next Wednesday, which is at Tri-County High School. I know for some of you that's a much farther, but we wanted to be closer to the west side than then here, and to mix it up. This was Ed recommended this because of many officials over there, and not just doing it here every week. So that's why we're going back and forth. But these first 3, as you can see, are basic mechanics, and it's what we should all review every year, making sure we have the basic mechanics of this, and we're all on the same page. So if we do have to be on another crew or sub in, everybody's on the same page. I think it's ridiculously important. And then the rest of the summer, as you can see here, what our topics are. I believe if you knew the basic mechanics and were somewhat solid on these, I believe you can go into the fall and absolutely work a JV game, absolutely work a sub-varsity game, and do a pretty darn good job. Maybe even a varsity game, depending on your rules knowledge. We're not spending a ton of times, as you can see, on rule number 1, rule number 2. That's not what this is about. Expectation, at least, for our crew, is we all spend time with the rule book and the case book, and this is on you to know. Whether you be a crew saver or just basic knowledge of this is what we all got to know if we're going to officiate this game. I think I do come at this with a little different standpoint. Having coached for 25 years or 26 years, from that side of it, is I know how hard those guys are working. I know they're in the weight room right now, and they're going to be busting their tail all summer long, and they were in there in the spring, and they were doing stuff in the winter, and they're going to go out in the fall. I think we've got to put in the work too. I really do. I mean, you can't have 2 of the 3 teams on the field busting their tail all year long to be the best they can, and we show up on game day and go, what's going on? We just can't do that. We've got to put in hard work too if we want to, pay homage to this game that I love, and I know because you guys are here, you love it too. So I think to be great a football official overall, it's not just one of these subcategories here. I think we need to be at least proficient in all of them. Obviously, for our first 3, we're going to be focused on mechanics. But when you talk about mechanics, you also have to talk about communication too. They go hand in hand with a lot of these things. If you have great mechanics, your judgment's probably going to be a lot better than being out of position and trying to rule on a play. But judgment is also time. You guys all would probably remember your first few years doing this on, I wasn't looking exactly right there, or I have no idea what I just saw, or those kind of things, because the game can be really fast. Judgment is a little bit, I think the more you do it, the better you get. I do honestly believe that. And then rules knowledge, I think we have to be in the rule book at all times during the season to be really good at this avocation that we've chosen. Okay, so we're going to be covering this stuff tonight. I'm going to try to hustle through this, to be honest with you, the slides, because I've got a bunch of clips pulled up or ready to go that I think is a much better teaching tool than reading through what these things mean or where do I stand. But Cooper has no idea where he stands on a kickoff, depending on position. So I do want to go through these things. Before we get into kind of where do I stand on free kicks and scrimmage kicks, there's 4 things here, and I have a couple extra in here that just real quick. Uh-oh, what did I just do? Okay, so a kick, intentional striking the ball with the knee, lower leg, or foot, which that might come into play, especially on scrimmage kicks, on what actually happens. Did the ball get struck or not? Do we have a kick or do we have a fumble? That's mostly for you referees out there wearing the white hat, where that really comes into play. A fair catch. Catch by a receiver of a free kick, and this is important, of a free kick in or beyond the neutral zone. We know we have that 10-yard neutral zone on a free kick, okay, to the receiver's goal line, or of a scrimmage kick beyond the neutral zone, meaning you can't call a fair catch if you're on the other side of this neutral zone. Just when you get into definitions like this, it's like, oh yeah, I haven't thought about that. What makes that true? So a valid signal. We can have an invalid signal, right? If we remember that, for you guys who've been around. A valid signal is what? What constitutes a valid signal? A waving arm above the head, right? A waving arm above the head. So if somebody's doing this, do we still have a signal? We have a signal. Right. So it's but it could be an invalid fair catch signal. I'm going to have a play in here that I had an invalid fair catch last year, the year before, I don't even, it's in the last couple of years. And I saw it and went, oh crap, I just saw that. Well, I can't ignore it. And I had to kill the play because it was an invalid. The kid didn't mean to do it, but he still did it. And I had to rule on that. And it was one of those just in the back of your head. And all of a sudden you see it and you're like, oh man. Especially if you get the defense stop. Mm-hmm. Well, this one was on a free kick. And well, I'm not going to talk about it. We'll show it and see what you guys think about it. Because I'm also going to show you guys a whole lot of screw-ups from our crew. Not necessarily this session. I don't remember which session it is. But I've just got an all-star list of us screwing the pooch for you guys to see. So, under conditions, the receiver forfeits the right to advance the ball in return for protection. So, do you get protection on an invalid signal? You don't. Now, that is not fair game to lay this person out. We still can have a personal foul for unnecessary roughness, but they don't have the same protection as a valid fair catch signal on those. So knowing the rule here gets you into is it or not. Okay, next. A touchback. Free or scrimmage kick, we can have a touchback when the ball breaks the plane of ours goal line. when it is still a kick. Okay, because this matters if I catch the ball on the 1 and I'm backing up, the ball was not a kick when I possessed it into the end zone versus the ball just breaking this plane as I caught it. In high school football, we got a touchback there. So knowing these rules and knowing how to apply them, sometimes it is really close, especially when we do get kickers that kick the ball near that end zone. Those back three there really have to understand what a touchback is when we get into that. So a muff. This is one that I think knowing this definition does help people. So the touching of a loose ball by a player in an unsuccessful attempt. They're attempting to catch this ball. It's an unsuccessful attempt to secure possession. This does not change the status of the ball. In understanding this, a muff does not change the status of the ball, makes every bit of difference in a difference between a fumble or a muff. Because if I'm trying to catch a punt and it goes off of my chest, it's still a punt. So if it rolls into the end zone, we have a touchback. Where if I possessed it and fumbled it, rolls into the end zone, that's a fumble. All right, so knowing that a muff it's still a kick in most cases. Now, you can also muff a pass. So a muff doesn't always go with the kicking game when we get to the bigger rules. But in general, when we're talking about it, a muff deals with the kick. And it's just an attempt. Compared to the ball rolling on the ground, hitting my leg, well, that's not a muff. It was not an attempt to catch the ball in the air. First touching of a free kick, first touching, if the ball is touched in the field of play by a K player or an A player, before it crosses R's restraining line. So we got that 10-yard gap in the middle. If the ball is not gone beyond that and K touches it before R touches it, we've got first touching. What do we do there? We bag it. All right, so that's why, I recommend, and I'm especially on a 7-man crew, our deep wings are up there. Okay, have a bag in your hand. Always be ready to bag first touching there. The flag you can get to, and you flag, we all know you can process flag plays. But a bag, we need to let everybody on the field know, including our crew, that we have a touch. And that bag signifies, in almost all cases, first touching or a fumble. All right, in almost all cases, we know what that means. And as you guys know, we have new fumble rules coming in this year. So we'll cover that in a later session too. In a scrimmage kick, if the ball is touched by any K player beyond the line of scrimmage, here's where a big change happens with NCAA versus high school rules on this punt game, whether the ball's been beyond and if it comes back and all of the rules questions that come for that. In high school, when the ball is beyond, touched by K, we have first touching, meaning R can take that ball at that spot of first touching, okay, unless there's a foul we have to administer. And then that's off, or a foul that's not declined. So just some basic things there. I think I have two more because these are going to come up. Kick catch interference, KCI. So any kick that is beyond the neutral zone again, to R's goal line there, K can't touch the ball, or R, unless blocked into it, does not need to be a fair catch. So on this one, some people think if the punt returner's back there given a fair catch and he gets early, we have KCI. But if he didn't call a fair catch, he's fair game. That is not the case. Now, high school does not have a 1-yard buffer in the rule book as far as I know. Anybody? There's nothing in there. So in high school, we can have a bam bam. We can have a catch smack as long as we're not up around the head and neck area with your helmet. We can have that. Where in college, we get this 1-yard buffer here that anytime we see bam bam, that's KCI. Flag's coming out on that. So in high school, it's actually harder for us to rule on this. It's because it can be those just ball got there a quarter of a second before the smack came, and we got a legal play. If not, it's KCI. If the guy gets there early, it's KCI. Let's talk kickoffs real quick. A ball that is kicked off the tee into the air, let's say they're only kicking it 15, 20 yards, not driven down into the ground. We know we're killing that. But the ball is kicked off the tee. Can a K player run underneath that and catch it? Can't in high school. Okay, that's KCI. Even if there's nobody over there? Even if there's nobody over there. Okay, so which is crazy, I think, but it's a rule. We have it in the rule book. That would actually be kick catch interference, even though there's nobody over there, because it's a rule in high school football that K cannot touch a ball in flight before R or it hits the ground. Okay, so understanding that rule. PSK enforcement, I don't even know if I really want to get into this now, especially like Coop. This is way beyond right now what you're ready for. But if we have in a scrimmage kick here where we have, hey, I'm punting the ball. It's fourth down. I'm punting the ball, meaning I'm declining my right, basically, to keep the ball in most things. If we have a foul by R and the ball has crossed the neutral zone and the foul is beyond the neutral zone, we're just saying this. Where they possess the kick, we're going to march off that foul from there. So that's why for back judges, it's really important that they get a bag down where R possessed that ball, because that's the enforcement spot. Even if they ran it all the way down, that's what PSK enforcement is. All right, now, oh boy, what am I doing wrong, Steve? Oh, why is it doing that?
I have to hit the arrow in the bottom.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, so free kick. First, let's just remind ourselves, what are we watching? Where are we standing on free kicks? I did all of this with a 5-man crew because probably all of us, if we're still working Thursdays at least, we're on a 5-man crew. So it's a great reminder for us. We can talk some 7-man. But the referee needs to be on the goal line, right? So you referees out there, does it matter where you are on the goal line? Do these people matter where they're standing based on where you're standing on that goal line?
I have a free look at the kick.
Okay, so you need to judge the ball and how many people we got on each side, right? Especially if we start. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so wherever you have back there, because one of our responsibilities is this: how many guys do we have on each side of the ball? Okay, and that's some of ours, I think, forget that. But especially if we ever start out with a 6-4, we gotta make sure that the four-side, one of those four-side players doesn't head across the ball before that ball is kicked, because then we got a 7-3, and that's against the rules in high school football. We can't do that. The most you can have on one side of this ball is 6 guys, and that's ours responsibility because he has the best view. Okay, so he is on the goal line. He's going to stay on that goal line until the ball is not threatening that goal line. So we can't come off that goal line early. We've got to make sure, because sometimes dudes miss balls. And the ball's coming, and then it bounces back. And we've all seen the 30-yard bounce that happens right there. Ours got to stay on that goal line until the ball is progressing up the field. And then from there, ours responsibility is in front of the ball carrier. Okay, and I'll show you how that changes. Obviously, these first ones are, if the ball's kicked straight down the middle, that, which I know we rarely see. But just in general, we'll start with this. Let's see if it, no, maybe not. Oh boy. There we go. Okay, if you are an L or an H, which are the line of scrimmage officials, okay, you are going to be at the pylons. That's what the book says here. Okay, we all know, especially in sub-varsity games, if you're standing back there, the ball's kicked here every time, and you are doing a sprint, and it's hard to rule on anything, and we all know that. And so what we'll do, obviously, on a varsity game, even in a 7-man crew, Tony and I will always start on the pylon. 100% of the time, first kick of the game, we're back there. And then if we saw by film review, or if we saw just by what's going on with that kicker, if the ball is kicked here every time, we'll absolutely sneak up. We'll cheat up. How you doing, sir? We'll cheat up to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, especially on Thursdays. I think we actually need to do that. We still have R on the goal line. So we still have somebody responsible for that. And we do, I mean, obviously, or not obviously, we want to be within 10 yards of the ball to make a ruling when the tackle's being made. That's the kind of general rule. If I'm coming up the field, I want to be about 10 yards trailing the play to whether I have a fumble, whether I have a tackle. Is it an illegal tackle like a face mask or a horse collar? I've got to be within 10 yards of that. And if the ball's kicked here and you're starting there, good luck with that. All right? You better be a world-class sprinter. So in general, after the ball is kicked and the return is happening, we are responsible outside in, which again comes with the, instead of numbering people, instead we're going to go outside in. In a 7-man crew, at Actually, the deep wings, which would be here and here, they're going outside in. The headlines and the line judge are basically on the hashes. They're looking numbers to hashes on a 7-man crew. On a 5-man crew, they are outside in looking for something to work. So I'm going to start outside, I'm going to work in, then, oh, I got a game here, I need to focus on this one. And work outside in. Okay? Jiminy Christmas. What? Steve.
I heard the arrow on the bottom works.
Well, but I got to watch. Jesus. Okay, so I'll be honest, guys. I've spent, I don't know how many hours, maybe above 40 hours, maybe 60 hours, looking at film, looking for the perfect mechanic, looking for a kickoff in a 5-man crew that I could show you guys today that's perfect. I haven't found one. I'm not kidding. And I've got film from all over the state of Michigan. I haven't found one. And one of the main things I see on kickoffs is not only the back judge, but the umpire, okay, need to get to the hashes on a good run. I don't want to say sprint, because I think when you're sprinting and officiating, you're not officiating anymore. I think you need to run, you need to hustle. But sprinting a lot of times gets you in trouble because you're not officiating when we're sprinting. But the back judge, after K passes, okay, their responsibility is, the book says, get about 10 yards downfield to the hash marks, set your feet, and officiate down the hash depending on where the ball's coming up. I see a lot of back judges just going, oh, geez. Now it works great. I see a lot of back judges just cruising down the sideline, standing there, whistle, ends the play, and they come out here to get a ball in. That's just not the mechanic. And back judge also has the goal line, right? So if we get a return, you got to bust your butt. Back judges need to be able to run. They got to get to the goal line. And the umpire, okay, the umpire is supposed to do the same thing. We all know in a lot of high school kickoffs, guys, the ball's landing on the 20. The ball's landing on the 15. If you try to get downfield, which the book does say to do, okay, it's in your lap. So most umpires, we need you to basically let K pass. So we've got to wait. So the ball is kicked. We're judging that ball off the tee because we got to know if it's kicked straight down or popped up. We're judging that ball. After that, we're watching K pass. We're heading out to the hash on a healthy run to get to the hash, to get our feet set, and to officiate inside out. Umpires, I don't know why, you spend your whole game right here, but it comes to kickoff, and they just go, doo, 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 doo. I got clip after clip after clip, okay? And I don't know, maybe there's a couple of things that I just don't know the answer to by watching all of this film. Number one, maybe, you know what, well, it's not an excuse that we don't have this because the old mechanic was that too. All right, so this is not an excuse. Now, maybe it is. You physically can't do it. And you know what? Keep yourself safe. You don't need to be getting yourself injured to officiate this sport. I do say keep yourself safe. But at the same time, I don't know. I think pretty much all of us can get to the hash, officiate inside out, and do that, and then you're trailing the play if it goes by you. I think we can all do that. And I just don't see it on film, guys. All right? I do have a few clips where it came close. All right? Now, this is balls kicked straight down the middle, right to this guy, and the ball's being returned right up the middle. We all know that doesn't happen very often. But if we did see this, this is our zones of coverage in a 5-man crew. This is where we should be working outside in, working down the hash, looking for work to do. Where is that block coming? Looking up, straight the runner. Okay, same here, same here. This is more realistic to what we see. Balls kicked over here, all right? Everybody's got to shift their focus. These guys over here have a much larger focus now. They've got to open their eyes up, where the guys over here got to really crank it down. Because if this ball is kicked to the numbers over here, there's going to be action here and here. You two are going to have action to work. We've got to have eyes on that. Now, if your crew's worked numbers for year, I've got 2 and 3, I've got 4 and 5. Is anybody going to know if you stay doing that? No. But if you do get put on another crew, or if you're going to work postseason or something like that, this is what should be done. And if we want to be uniform in doing this, we've got to all be on the same page with this. Okay? So that's a free kick. Onside kick. In a 5-man crew, L and H are coming up to R's restraining line. Okay? Let's talk about what we do and don't do, because I think we need to get better at this too. First of all, if the R has brought you two up, we're thinking onside kick here, guys. All right? So all of us need to be as far back as we possibly can away from the field. It's hard enough to rule on something if the action was happening right at these doors right here. That is really hard to rule on. Okay? At least get yourself, and you know how an onside kick comes right over here. It can be coming in your lap along with players coming into your lap. Okay? We need to be at the, if you're on a turf field, we need to be at the very back of the white. Okay? Very, very back of the white to start our game. Bag in hand. Okay? All of us have a bag in hand, and we are officiating what we see. In general, if the ball is kicked this way, the line judge and you have fair catch, if that's coming, if that's a possibility, and you have the ball. These people over here, what are they officiating? Everything else. Did the ball cross the line of scrimmage, or cross R's restraining line, and do we have early blocks? If you're away from the onside kick, you've got early blocks, because I'm telling you, he ain't going to know. Everything's happening about all the same time. He's only got to have one responsibility, and that's really is ball in the tackle. Was it a legal tackle? Did we have a fair catch before that? Okay? If you have put blocks on him, it's an impossible task. Okay? So that's why the guys on the other side don't just go, which we all will do, whew, it went away from me. Okay? Absolutely, we're all thinking, go to the other side, go to the other side, go to the other side. But once it does go to the other side, don't go, whoo-hoo! All right? You've got to go early. Is anybody blocking early? Remember, before the ball reaches 10 yards. Okay, the ball's got to reach 10 yards first. So that's the adjustment there. If you are working a 7-man crew, then all we're doing is we're bringing, now we have F and S and L and H all in this area right there. What happens if they kick it deep? What do? We got to go. You got to go. All right? So especially to the side of, you got to go. You got to try to get behind it. And if we're all watching the ball kicked right off that tee, it shouldn't be a surprise. Now, the other thing I do want to say is, and I saw this on film, don't move. Okay? If we do have an onside kick, you're in the back of the white, your bag in hand, and I'm officiating, ball comes at me, and it's going to go 5, 7, 10 yards past me, but there's still action, just do this. Just move if you're floating too, that's another thing moving on that play. We can all officiate what's happening 5 yards from us right from this position. And it's no big deal to come in, ball is now down, I'm killing the clock, or I'm winding, then killing, could be in that situation, and I've got a spot, or I can then dig out for a fumble. All right, you should not be moving there prior to the ball being dead, unless it's beyond that. If it's ball's kicked 20 yards or further downfield, that means it passed the 10, passed another 10, then we can shuffle down. If not, remind each other, stay put your feet in cement, get a bag in hand, and officiate like this. Move your head to officiate. Remind each other of that. It's a good reminder. Okay. Any questions so far, or any statements? Anything I've screwed up? No? Okay, scrimmage kick, which obviously in this case, this is a punt. Just where do we stand? So R is going to, and I hope this is right. This is what the book said. I'm not an R, never will be. 3 to 5 yards outside of the tight end, so the end man in some cases. And says 2 to 3 yards behind the kicker. Is that what you guys do? It's really close. That's close. I don't know. Is that what you do? 2 to 3 yards? Wow. What happens? I mean, it just seems like all the time they're doing this, and all of a sudden he's in your lap. You just have to adjust. Okay. All right. So obviously their main focus right here is on this punter, which it doesn't seem like I have a punter in there, or I have something weird. Oh, what makes a scrimmage kick formation? 10. Yep, 10. So in high school, it has to have somebody, well, it doesn't say that, 10 yards behind, I don't know if it says behind the snapper, which in college this year, we have a new rule on there has to be somebody directly behind the snapper to be a scrimmage kick formation. And there can't be anybody in the way. So that's a new rule coming this year at the college level, but I don't think it says that for high school. I don't think it says that there has to be somebody 10 yards directly behind the snapper. Can anybody quickly check that out?
Doesn't it say
There might be somebody 7 yards to receive the snap.
That's for a scrimmage kick where there is a holder. It says 7 when there's a holder. It is, yes. But I'm saying if they're in a scrimmage kick without a holder, they've got to be at 10.
I've never seen that.
Is it at the snap too? Because sometimes quarterbacks will start and then they.
Yeah, I'm going to show you that one. Is it 7? It's I thought I read 10. 10?
Yeah, it's ruled to.
I think it used to be 7. I think you are absolutely right. I know when I first started, I think it was 7, and that was not that many years ago. So I think it maybe just changed last year to 10, and this is one of those adjustments. Now, here's what I don't know. How does this trump this? Did the state of Michigan put 10 in here, and the rule book might not say 10? Oh, you got it? It says 10? Okay. So I'm going to show you a play where that, because when we have a scrimmage kick formation, remember our snapper has protection, right? It's really hard when the quarterback's here and he says set, does that, right? How, as the umpire, how are you going to get that when there's a 5-man front and there's a nose guard? How are you going to get him off that? And we had long discussions on our crew is, God, do they deserve that? I mean, it happened in 1 second. They went from a regular scrimmage down to a scrimmage kick formation that fast, and now there's a new rule because that is officially a scrimmage kick formation. So as we know in high school, you can have a numbering exception only when? 4th down. 4th down. If it's 3rd down and they're punting in high school, you don't get the numbering exception. You do not get the numbering exception. So if they put number 27 at right tackle because he's fast and he's on the punt team and they were end of game punting it in a weird situation, that's a flag for illegal formation, which I'm sure they're going to. I mean, it won't be a big deal in that play, but yeah, I know. Okay, so just talking about that. So next we have, and this is another one. It's hard for me to find a good clip on this, guys. So the rule books, the mechanics manual changed to what we do, and we still do it the other way. But it says the line judge goes at the snap every time. The line judge, okay? It says the line judge heads on the snap. The head linesman waits until the ball's crossed the neutral zone and then heads. You guys all know what I'm talking about. We're not going to go together. We're not going to both just wait there. One's going to go at the snap after a legal snap is made. The other is going to go after the ball crosses that line of scrimmage. So it used to be whoever, in this case, the headlines would go first. Why? Because we have the R on this side of the field. So he would go. We still do it that way. I think you just need to communicate within your crew on this one. We do want one going first. We're trying to get behind that ball. And if you're ever going to sprint, this is the time. Why? Because you're not officiating anything on your sprint. This is the time when you get to sprint. You get to try to get behind that ball and officiate in the normal fashion that we're used to, behind the ball. You got to hustle, and you got to go. And I get there are physical limitations on this. Those kids are fast. They're really fast, and we're not getting any faster. That's for sure. We're getting slower every year. But that's the mechanic on this. Whether you want to take it in and go, line judge goes every time.
Larry, I'll tell you why I don't like that.
Okay.
With the back to the guy
the headline is right. And now I'm facing the line judge. Now I got to snap over the punter's head.
Yep.
Now me and the line judge go back. We have it boxed in every single time.
I know.
Switch that around the other side, and now I got the ball behind. Now I'm two people on the same side of the ball trying to box in a play. It can't be done.
Well, here's what happened. I can tell you this. They made this from the NCAA mechanics manual. A lot of it's word for word. I know the guy who does it at the MHSAA. He's a Big Ten football official. He's a great football official. But he took the easy way out because why? A lot of this is for 5-man. And what makes sense in the 7-man, some of it doesn't make sense for 5-man. It doesn't. It just doesn't make sense. But it was easier just to keep it the same versus I say you do it the traditional way of this referee was going to be facing this way right there, right? If the referee's butt is to you, you go on the snap. The other one holds until the ball crosses the line of scrimmage, then heads down the field. Okay? So you can make your call on that one. Or
staying there and the snaps over the head. Now me and the guy are boxing the play in, and I got the headlines on the line of scrimmage. So he knows.
Yep. Yep. The back judge. So I don't know how often you're getting two guys back there versus one. 50-50, is it? Okay. Yeah. So if you get two, we're splitting them. In general, with one, the book says 8 to 10 yard or the U. Oh my gosh, I meant to do the B here. Well, let's talk about the U. U is this a little deeper than you guys normally are? 8 to 10. So do you go deep?
9 yards.
So okay, so normal depth there. Obviously, you're warning the defenders to stay out of that box. And I do believe in high school they can line up there if they don't hit them, right? They can be in that frame. I think that's whereas in college that's a foul. So I think they can line up wherever they want. If they don't touch the snapper, good for them. So head comes up. Yep. After that happens, the snap happens, the punt happens. When the wave passes, U-turn, right? And we're officiating inside out from there and looking for those takedowns, looking for the holds, looking for the blocks in the backs ahead of the runner there. Okay? The back judge. Here we go again. See, I just have to barely touch it. The back judge, 5 to 7 yards. If you have one returner, we're just off the shoulder of the returner. Why? Because we used to teach, stay in the middle. We used to going out. There's a lot of ways to teach this. This is just easy. He's likely going to move every time. And you don't know which way the kick's going. Neither does he. Stand off his shoulder, judge that kick, and then try to get 45 on, I did that wrong. Don't do this. Try to get 45 with your eyes, chest square to the field here, and judge that action in front of the ball carrier. So whether we have somebody getting there early, so whether we have a muff, whether it's a fumble, whatever those are, we don't want to go outside the hashes to judge that. So kind of the hashes, treat them as your box that you want to stay in to rule. On the punt, I don't know about you guys, how many high spiraling punts do you see? We don't see a lot. I mean, it's once a season, twice a season where we get a punter that's what we know. Most everything else is just line drives or kicks out of bounds. But we got to be ready for this. So we want to gain that 45 degrees after the punt is in the air. If this is the sideline over there and we're starting to this, right here on this hash right here, as he goes to retrieve that, I'm just getting 45 right here and I'm officiating it inside or from the inside. And then I'm ready to in front of him. So after the ball's caught, I've got right here in front of him. Anything that happens immediately after, we've got to transfer from catch to here right now. We also got to get a bag down. You can either throw the bag, and you don't throw the bag if he caught it right here, we're just throwing the bag right here. We just need a yard line, to be honest with you. All right? Or if it's being returned, as you jog up, drop a bag. Either is appropriate, either is okay, but we do need a bag down. Do we need a bag down on a fair catch that is caught? I think the rule book does say where the kick ends, but guys, that's where the ball's being spotted. If you don't drop a bag on that, you are absolutely fine. Good with that? Okay. Scoring kicks. So in a 5-man crew, the B and the U are, whether this is a PAT or a field goal, the B and the U are underneath the goalposts. The R, again, you face, you face the holder, right? Face the holder in this. Responsible for the holder and the kicker in this one. Because we have roughing of both, you've got, in a 5-man crew, it's just you. You've got to be the guy on that. That means not watching the kick. That means for action coming after it, you got to stay zeroed in on that because we don't give you a lot of jobs, to be honest with you. You can do that one. All right? Yeah. I mean, come on. The line of scrimmage here. This is where it does matter. Do we have a PAT, point after touchdown, or is this a field goal? Because different things can happen here. A field goal, remember, it's just a scrimmage kick. All right, it's a punt that they can score with. So in this situation, it's a lot different. Are we kicking from the 30 or are we kicking from the 10 like in this situation? We may have to worry about this line. And was this line broke? Because if you notice, nobody's on that line. And that line does matter. If this kick comes up short and lands right here and is rolling right here, it matters. It matters whether it broke that line or not, doesn't it? It's just like a punt. We can have a touchback. So we may need to hustle down there and make a judgment on that line if this is a field goal. If this is a PAT, does that line matter at all? Not at all. Okay, on a PAT that was attempted, I should say. Once that ball's kicked, that ball's kicked. All right. So the B and the U, okay, refresh me on this one. Who has a whistle on PAT? The B does or the R? R does. So once the ball's kicked, tweet.
I give it to the last scrimmage.
Okay,
I tell the home side, whoever's on the home side.
Take it.
Last scrimmage, it's airborne.
Who does it on our crew? Not me, and he pointed at him.
On a field goal, I
The
think.
reason I like my guy to do it on the side, that way I have my voice to get people off.
Yep. Somebody should have a whistle, and remember, if it's a PAT, once that ball's kicked, no other scoring is going to happen. Nothing else is, so, yeah.
I usually take it more to protect the kicker
I love it.
and
And the holder.
the holder.
I agree.
So that last 2 steps that they know better than to
Yep.
pop somebody.
I agree. Okay. Oh, come on. Oh, let's see if this works. I found, I don't know how many here. And I'm going to show some kickoffs and some things that happened to us or some mechanics, some punts and some PATs, just so we can now see it. Obviously, high school cameras, we're going to see what we can see, all right, and do our best with this. We'll more talk about it. So I put this one on here. This is our crew. This is a 7-man crew, but I just wanted to show how great our B and U were on this. So this is obviously from the back. We have B right here. U is for us on the same yard line because we're on a 7-man crew. But this would work the same if he was 10 yards down the field. We'll just watch this one. So they should be coming out, hustling to the hash. After passes. Look at that hustle right there. Okay, now they are doing something after they hustle out there. Okay, what do we do? I mean, Steve's got the action, or Darnell's got the action right in front of him. He's watching those blocks that are happening right on the hash, right in front of him. Okay, now here's a situation where Mr. Waring could probably get downfield a little bit, but as long as he has open vision there, I think we're pretty good with that. All right. So that's I just included that one for the mechanics of getting to the hashes. Okay. This is probably the same play. Sorry. Okay. Check out this one. See what you see. Here we go. Did you see anything? This was my oh shit moment. I'm on the pylon here. Well, maybe the cameras goes fast. Oh, no, I need to show you a different view, I think. Let's try this. Wait, what play number is this? 40? Nope. I must have moved it. Oh. Yeah. So I just labeled this one jackassery away from it. And we had a lot of it, I believe, in this game. Away from what did I do? 77. Oh, why did I have this one on here? This is 77. Oh, this is when it happened. We had an unintentional or any, here we go, let me back it up. No, we had an inadvertent fair catch signal. And it wasn't a fair catch signal. But this guy here, watch what he does. I think it's him. He goes like this. The ball's going right there. But I'm at the pylon and I just saw a wave above his head. I was probably way too technical on this for a high school football game. But I saw it, and as soon as he caught it, I killed it. We have an inadvertent fair catch right here. Obviously, and the count is over. We got to call that. If a hand goes above the head for any reason other than blocking sunlight, that's an inadvertent fair catch. And I don't know, what is your opinion? Should I have just eaten that one? I mean, I knew what the kid was doing. He was doing this, and I don't know. Is that way too technical?
Does it make a difference if he doesn't catch it?
No. Doesn't matter. Anybody on R gives a fair catch signal, whether it's valid or invalid. We have a dead ball when it's possessed. So, yeah, that was that one. The next one was the jackassery away from it. And you guys saw it one time. Let's watch it again. Was it from this angle that you see it? I think we will see it here. So I don't think we flagged this. I think it's behind it. So I don't know when what play. It was play 40, so it was in the first half.
And you see, I'm the back judge when I'm 40 yards away.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the initial. I'm pretty sure I threw a flag on this one.
I don't think you did. I think this was a talking to.
I went and talked to him.
Yeah.
It was right in kind of his lap.
Yeah. So yeah. You don't remember if you talked to
I
them,
think I talked to him,
say, hey, knock it off.
and I think the reason I didn't flag it is it was just kind of mutual wrestling.
Yeah.
And it was like,
I agree.
going at it, there was no reason to call it.
I think that's a talking to, unless you've already talked to. Then we've got to do something, or else they're going to be jackasses the whole game, right? So, all right. So this one, there's a possible hold in the middle of the field. Again, it's away from after the here. Okay. It'll be in the middle of the field. And you watch where the ball comes. See it right there?
Yeah.
So you look where the ball is. In general, obviously, to be a hold, we want it to be at the point of attack, right? But does a takedown trump the point of attack? Does that make it more important? When we have a takedown, do we need a flag on the field? That's a question for you guys.
You're out front of God and everybody on that one.
I mean,
Are you condoning that? Because that's what you're doing if you don't flag.
okay. So any takedown on a kick return, no matter where it's at, are you flagging? I know.
I can't never say always.
I know.
Those always and absolutes get you in trouble.
Yep.
The obviousness.
That's an obvious thing on film that anybody can look at. I would say you need to get that. Now, if you don't get it, then it's not that big of a deal because it wasn't at the point of attack. You're correct.
So if I think I'm right, Steve threw on this one. I think he had already talked to him prior to throwing on this one because this was play 133 in the game. So he'd already talked to him. They had been idiots before. He threw on this, and I think it was definitely warranted. if this is the opening kickoff, we got to use our judgment. All right. Way before, I was always like, nope, any takedown, especially on free kicks, scrimmage kicks. If we get a takedown, we get a flag down. I don't know if that's our job. I don't know if we're making the game any better by doing that. I think it's judgment has to come
In
in.
my mind, I think you have to have a flag because we don't know if that run's going to break to the outside where that kid was.
It was quite.
I don't disagree with you. Mm-hmm.
That's so obvious and open that you have a hard time explaining why you passed on it. If somebody, hey, I got this play, coach asked about it, here it is, and you're just sitting there going, I really can't.
I think you could do it two ways though. You could throw it right away, or you can hold it, and if it breaks, then you can throw it.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Point of attack is a big area.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Point of attack might be 25.
The play actually was almost down when the throw happened. And it wasn't like the one we saw before, the launching. They kind of went down. But like I said on this one, I understand it because this was not the first time they did it. They were being idiots, and they deserved it. So, all right. Next one. I'll just let it play as soon as I hit this button. Here we go. See it? Yep. So, where's our line for OFK? I mean, what do we use as our, do we say plane? Do we say a foot down? Do we say, what do you guys generally use, especially you seasoned people? Okay. Steve, what do you use?
So to me, based on huddle film, right, like that we watched beforehand, how far are they kicking it? Like that takes some consideration in my mind.
Meaning, do we have an onside attempt here?
Or if they're just squibbing it right up the middle or something, obviously, but I try to treat it like you've got that. Shouldn't be over the line anyway, but I mean, it's hard when they're running as fast as they are. If it's a half over the line and they're kicking,
You're going to be killing almost every kick.
yeah, I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
Early in the game, I talked to them. Don't leave early, guys.
Any other B's or U's on a 7-man crew? Go for it.
I've always said that they don't have to. It's okay to break the plane.
Okay.
They got a foot down. They're offside.
Okay.
And I talk to them. I'll go, hey, I need to the kicker.
Mm-hmm.
I got to talk to this guy because
He was early. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I think a warning in that situation is merited unless it's an onside kick attempt. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, my thought is that I'm not going to guess him to be offside.
Okay.
It's like I'm not going
You gotta know.
that might have been a block.
Yep.
I got to know that he was.
Like in this scenario, I think we all, I mean, if I slow it down, it's a full, yeah.
It's a yard, 4 feet maybe.
Yeah. So, yeah, and the question about, because if we look here at the official, the question of should I split that line down my crotch, or should I put, in this case, my left leg on that line so there is a little bit of an angle back to the ball, and if I can't see the ball, you're early. So my boss wants crotch. Split the line right here. Definitely wants common sense put into play unless it's an onside kick attempt. If it's an onside kick, plane of glass. Absolute plane of glass. Matter of fact, you better freaking be late. Or he wants a flag down for that. So, which is different than a normal kickoff. I think a talking to. This is egregious. I think we do need in high school, we kill this play. All right, flag down and bring them back. So,
Well, this is probably the first kick too, because it's a kill.
play 24. Yeah, it could be. Yep. Yes. Yeah, it was killed. Yep, on this one. Okay, here's an onside kick attempt in this next one. Kind of interesting. Not the best camera work, but. Oh, no. That is not an onside kick. Play 25. Oh. This is our crew. This one. Tony gets props for this one, maybe. Unless you guys think he screwed it up. Tony's at the pylon up there. You'll see what happens here. Poor guy. Tony's in really good position. Really good position here. And, oh, you see what happened? Stripped it right before going out of bounds. Tony put it back down, let it happen, killed the clock, and officiated the play. Then, look what else. We got 2 guys coming in to help unbury the pile. I thought this was just really good. For a chaotic situation here, I thought they handled this really well. So, that's why I put that in there. All right, that was play 25. I need play 123. Shut up. Here we go, onside kick. I know, sorry. All short a few times. That's the question.
Went through his leg. Doesn't look like it touched it.
Going up.
Out of it.
So that's my question is, first of all, I think we're legal here, right? Because the ball's already kicked right now. And I think we're legal for K. All right? This, I don't know whether it was a surprise or not, but we don't have onside. We're not in an onside formation. But this is tough for this guy. Did it touch the leg or not? All right? We have a kick out of bounds, but a kick out of bounds touched by R is different than a kick out of bounds untouched by R, right? So what's the differences in this? We're coming together, we're going, and we're asking this guy, hey, did it go off his leg? Did it touch him? That's who, right, this guy running up is asking that question. Did it touch him or not? What if he says, yes, it touched him? What are we doing?
Possession out of bounds.
Yep. So wherever about right here.
The difference is there wouldn't be an option for a re-kick. Is that what
Yep. Option for a re-kick or a 5 yards advanced of that. They're obviously not going to take it 30 yards. Or is it 30 in high school? 25 advance of the kick. But yes, we've got to know whether it touches that leg or not. And that's not easy, especially live in game. And all of a sudden, oh crap, it's an onside kick. Remember, you weren't expecting it. We should always expect it. And boom, it's happening. And then, did it just touch him or not? Because it went right through the 5-hole. That's tough. You know, you just go with what you saw and kill the clock, and you're good. All right. Where was that? That was onside. So I need play 140. Okay, here, we've kind of seen one like this. This is another takedown. Not that I want to bring this conversation back, but see it? Yeah, I mean, it's 5 yards away from the play. I think that's close enough on this when the guy's not down and we get a takedown.
Is that the same too?
Could be. Okay. Is this play 19? Okay. This is a 5-man crew. And I think I have that on here. Good mechanics for this. We'll see. I have no idea if this is you. Good job. That might be a little too far down the field, right? I mean, that's the 40. I would stay, I mean, he's probably doing it correct by the manual. Yeah. Get set, stop. Back judge, he's gone. That was a good job. Great position. Look at the guys, the wings coming down. Great position. I just thought this was great. They did. Yeah. I mean, I don't see anything wrong in this one. But I looked at a lot of plays, guys, to find this. Umpire should be officiating inside out from here. Well, did that already, my question is, was it already down when he started coming in? I don't think we're going to know that. Oh, yeah. Stay in the middle. Stay in there. A lot of guys he's passing. I mean, he can't rule on anything here. Stay in the middle. I think so. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Now let's move to punts. Oh, this first one. This is us. This is just literally for a touchback signal. Okay, so the ball lands in the end zone. Okay, in general, with a touchback, what's the first thing we do? Blow the whistle, kill the clock, then come up with the touchback. All right, so don't come up with this first. We need to manage the clock. Remember, the clock is rolling, so it's tweet, real slow, and we're just right here. Okay, nice and easy. It's not a rush with that one. Come on, Waring. 47. Nope. See how it goes by it? That's not my fault. I swear. How does it go to 32? All right, I'm just going to fast forward. Maybe it'll go to 47. Yeah. All right. So with this one, this is reverse mechanics. Okay, so we have a punt. Okay, that's a oh crap, right? When the punt returner is coming up for this. Now, we got to go. We got to go. All right, so we didn't have the line of scrimmage guy's head. We got to head down. We got to try to get behind this ball here. All right, and if this is better than this. All right, if that is that's what I got to bring, then bring it. All right, try to get your butt back behind the play to officiate it. This is a terrible position, even safety-wise, to be in as this ball's coming back at us. Okay, so we want to try to do that. Now, the reverse, this mechanics that we get here. So he did probably what he should do. He's not trailing it. He's on a 5-man crew. He goes, well, hell, I'll just get to the goal line like a 7-man crew. Hey, good job. At that point, he shouldn't have been there. He should have been here trailing it. And yes, plays that we're trailing, going into a pylon, we have the worst vantage point. Everybody in the stands has a better vantage point than us. But that's what the manual says to do. We trail it, and we rule on it the best we can at there. And the R does have the goal line, yes. He does. Was he there when it mattered? Yep. Great position. Great position. Even, look. Okay? It's just the wings, we want to trail this, and that's why I had this play on there.
Plug for that communication between the sideline and the referee on a close play like that, making sure you don't have anybody out of bounds, or you've got somebody that crossed. Because the referee, he's looking, and if that's, he's got the ball across, but you as the
a knee down.
As the headline has a knee down. You can look across, and if he's pointing at you, you can kill it.
Is this you?
That's us.
Oh.
That's our very first game.
This is 7-man?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's speak to that a little bit more. Whenever we go up, whether it's a touchdown or we are killing a ball inside the 5. Inside the 2, really. Okay? Whenever we are doing that, you've got to make eye contact before you go up. I don't care what the play is. If you don't, you went too fast. Period. If you don't, you went too fast. And I don't care if it's a 50-yard breakaway, there's nobody within 30 yards of them, and if it's a 7-man crew, you are there already with the B. Okay? The F and the B or the S and the B are there. Okay? You look crazy doing this. All right? You look like you don't know what you're doing. So you let the play happen, you face the guy with the ball, and you go up like this. It looks like you're relaxed, controlled. What that does on a 5-man crew or when we have goal line involved, if we hustle to the goal line, we get in position, which Tim's going to cover this stuff next week. But if we see it and we have an opinion, it doesn't hurt to look up and then go. We just slowed ourselves down. What if I look up and there's nobody to look at? Okay, you went slow and it looks like you've nailed it. The only exceptions are those when the ball's in the middle of the field and you've got a crash. When you've got a crash, then you can be a little bit more adamant on your signals and you can do these things to sell it. But on those ones that don't need sold, get a visual. Anything here on the sideline, we're looking back for that and getting the opinion. I know what happened. You're here.
Yeah,
I remember this.
yeah.
This is,
You yelled at me.
I should have yelled at you because this is a 7-man crew. I forgot. That's me.
Yeah. And Dave's
Where's Taylor? This is like, where's Waldo?
Yeah.
Taylor should be right here, right? Trailing by 7. Oh, man. You're lucky I didn't catch that earlier. All right, that was play 47. Next, we got 32. Oh, here it is. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Taylor, nice hustle.
I'm still figuring out what I'm doing.
Yes, you were. Watch. Remember what a scrimmage kick is? Yep. No. Well, it's 10. He's set. Yep. Center's not protected in that situation. And if we saw that on film, then we might have a conversation with the coach. Coach, just so you understand, we understand you do this quarterback step back. On film, he's getting to 7. Just understand your center's not going to have protection. He's going to go, I don't freaking care. Whatever, he's a center. He's not a long stepper. What? Yep, we told him. So that's just what I wanted. So the hard part is, was he at 9 or was he at 10? Those when they step back and it happens really fast, and you're like, I can't believe we're going to flag a nose guard for hitting a snapper when we don't even know if it's a legal formation. You understand what I'm saying? When that happens fast, that's tough. I don't know how you, even with a 7-man crew, that's tough to have that opinion on that fast. Okay. Oh, what do you have here? Or this is Tim on this one. We have roughing or running it, not this. There we go. On this one. So end zone view will show that better. This one, yeah, there's a lot of. So I know this isn't what tonight is, but what's the difference between running into or roughing? Especially you R's. Severity. That's
Is the kicker in a vulnerable position?
Yes.
Can he protect? To what extent can he protect?
Yep. So
Throughout the whole
And
game.
does he act, and like in this case, it almost looks like the kicker kind of paused, bringing his kicking leg down because he saw the hit coming.
Okay.
And then I'm guessing I went with a running into on this one.
you do roughing. Now, so I think to make whatever, we all know if the plant leg is involved. So if that is contacted, it's almost automatic we have roughing. But do we ever have roughing with the kicking leg? Can we have roughing? Or is that just all? Yeah, absolutely we can. Okay? They smack into the kicking leg. So that's exactly, and they come in hard. That absolutely can be roughing. In the ones that twist the punter, so they come up and somebody's coming this way and it hits the foot and they twist them. We got to be careful of those because those guys like to just bail. When in reality, it should probably be running into versus roughing. But that's tough. That's why URs get the big bucks to make those calls there. Whoa. All right. Roughing her. Okay. Number 33. Oh, that's not good. Okay, on this one. Oh, wing mechanics I have on here. I don't know why. This is not I don't know who this is. Anybody of you guys? I don't even know what game it is. I don't even know why I wrote down wing mechanics. So we're all going to see this one. Go. Somebody go. Somebody go. Oh, yeah, and he's walking. Maybe that's why. And it ended up being returned. Don't get ahead of it. Let it go. Okay, now he's okay. Yeah. So we want to operate in the white, right? We want to operate in the white until we have a whistle. That's our area there. So that's why I put that one. Okay. That was 33. 24. Okay. This is just first touching spot. So it comes down here. And it cuts off. Let me go back. Nope, it's not going to let me. God dang it. So I'll pause it right at the end. Okay, and this isn't quite the end, but if I go any farther, maybe I can. Right?
There.
So, what's our mechanic here? Get a bag down. We've got to get a bag down here. We still kill the clock. I believe, did it go out of bounds or is? Anyway, what if it went out of bounds? We still mark the spot. We kill the clock at where it went out of bounds or where we recovered it. But then we've got a bag up 3 yards. We come up. We've got first touching right here. Okay, so we still kill it. The ball, the end of the kick happened right here, but we had first touching. We're going to signify that by walking to the first touching spot, whether it's the B or wings, and signify to the R. We got first touching going this way.
I have a question.
Yep.
You other back judges on that play, there's one return man, the ball didn't go out of bounds. We bag it. How long do we wait before we do that? Because technically, the R can still pick that up and run.
Okay, so I can tell you what I'm taught. If that ball ain't moving, you better be blowing your damn whistle. That's what I'm taught from my boss, but that's not necessarily high school. Let's hear you guys. What? I know. I'm just telling you what my boss tells me.
What always happens, almost immediately, what always happens, just as soon as anything.
Everyone's coming on the field.
Exactly. So you let that go on too long, you got a real mess.
That's why I'm blowing my whistle. That's why my boss wants me to, if that ball's not moving, and matter of fact, if it's just moving slow, kill it. Stop the shit from happening.
Is it rolled fed?
So.
Nearly at rest is the
I mean, you gotta be aware.
Yeah, it just stops the jackassery. I agree. Yep.
And then the other question is, what does it take to kill the ball when it's on the ground?
A touch.
We-
In high school.
We've seen this, you know.
I know.
The touch and they back off and.
So I can tell you when I coached,
Picks it up and
so an official told me when I coached that, you know, the foot on the ball or the touch and run by doesn't count. So have your kids run over because now you have first touching there. Have your kids run over and scoop up the ball and take off running. Okay? Well, if you read this, that touching of the ball kills it. When that ball is not rolling and you touch the ball, it's dead. That's what this says. I'm telling you right now. I was told wrong or this changed. I don't know. I never read this when I coached. Not once. So coaches know nothing. Okay? Compared to what you guys, I'm telling you. They act like they do. Don't be fooled. All right? So, hey, which, 24. Yeah, we already did that. Let's skip a few here. 68. I just put on there possible KCI. We're beyond that. Okay, now extra points or PATs. This is our crew. I don't know what we did right or wrong. Oh, no, it says good job. Oh, good job going up together. I just wanted to show because I often see, like, we're going to talk about signals in later dates here, and this stuff just drives me nuts. And that stuff, it doesn't take any more work to do it right. It doesn't take any more strength or work to go. It doesn't take any more strength to be here and do things right with the signals, you know, with our mechanics there. That makes you look sharper. It makes you look like you know what you're doing compared to, I don't know if you see this stuff or this. It's just, so I just wanted to give these guys props. I thought we want to go up together. Talk. What do you guys say to each other?
Yep. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. Say it 3 times so there's not any, what did you say? Look at each other. Okay. There's going to be one person ruling on that it's closest to theirs, or it splits you between. You just go, yes, yes, yes. After the third yes, step up and right here together. Man, it looks sharp. Looks like you know what you're doing. looks like you've taken the time to do those kind of things. Even if we're clueless. Oh, I don't know if I put any of Steve's highlights on here. 99, the next play. Oh. Come on. So watch this. Yeah. We got DOF, right? Now watch. Boom. So let's talk about DOF, though. In high school football.
I know, but you got two different penalties here.
I know. I agree with you. We got DOF, which kills the play. Tweet. He kept going. Boom. Now we don't really have roughing. We've got a personal foul, right? Okay, on this one, I don't think they called it. I'm going to show you the very next play. Okay, so that happened. I don't really understand. This is literally play 100. It's the next play. And so the dude just tackles him. He's like, I'm not letting that happen again. And nothing called.
The next play?
The very next play.
They declined the 15-yard penalty, the 5-yard penalty?
I have no idea.
Half the distance.
I don't, when I find these, I just find them and go, psst, I'm taking it.
What was their justification for not calling the penalty on the kicker? I'm just curious. I wasn't there.
I wasn't there either. I just found it online. I don't even know who those teams were. So I just have a library of all the games from last year. Nope. No, I just take these and then I accidentally just went to the next play and go, I went to the next play to see what they called. Did they just the 5? Did they call the 15? You know what? Did they have a live ball, dead ball, which they probably should have? Okay. And then I see them at the 3. And they're like, oh. And then I see the takedown and no flag. I'm like, all right, forget it. Moving on.
There was no flag on that?
No.
For outside defense, anyways.
Oh, no. They killed the play. I don't know. I don't know. I would just be guessing. All right. This happened to me, not this. And I never thought it would happen in my career. This is a 7-man crew. All right. I was the side judge. So in a 7-man crew, the side judge becomes another umpire on a field goal or PAT. You guys know what I mean? Like they stand opposite the umpire. Okay. So this is kind of hard to see. Oh, no, I don't want that. I want this. Okay. So it happened. This guy right here, which I'm over here. So that's where I'm looking. Now the goalpost is right in the way. See what he does? He does this. He grabs him and did this, and the linebacker went right through there. You guys see it? It's a defensive holding. It's a pull and shoot. All right, it's defensive holding. Seen it in every test question, every quiz. Okay, got it. And then it happened in front of me. I went, oh, crap. That just happened. So never still thought I'd see it. But it's defensive holding. You can't pull, even if he pulled him this way to allow a gap for a line, that is a foul for defensive holding. Okay? So never thought I'd see that in it. I went, oh, shit. So surprised me. Okay. That's what I got, guys. So hopefully everybody got something out of tonight, or at least got their brains turned in the right direction, because that's our goal in doing this. Next Wednesday, we're at Tri-County High School. I am going to send out another. Has everybody been getting the emails? Okay. I'm going to be sending out another email with more specifics on where to go at Tri-County. Where do we go in? I've got to get with them and make sure we're solid on that. I don't know what room we'll be in. I told them I wanted at least a projector, this kind of thing. Tim's going to be running next week, so you don't hear from me all the time. But thanks for coming. You guys rock. Hopefully we all got something out of it. So, okay, yeah. So